And we, as I always say at the beginning of these videos, because I never know when it's popping up, it just tells me in the corner, are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to M-Spirit 316. My name is Michael. As I'm sure you guys know by now, I'm joined, as per usual, by a good brother, a good friend, basically family. Grizz, Bear Russell News, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. You good?
Couldn't be better, bro. First of all, I gotta say, shout out to all of you guys over in America, Grizz, yourself included. Happy 4th of July, guys. It's nearly over, 4th of July. It's 11 p.m. UK time, but I hope you guys are enjoying your festivities no matter what part of the US you are from. And yeah, happy Independence Day and 4th of July to you guys over there. We're here to talk Raw, but before we talk Raw, quick shout out to our sponsors, Catalyst Mints. Check them out, link in the description. Grizz, you have a little skit that you do at the beginning of your videos. Why don't you bring that skit onto my channel and grace my channel with your greatness?
Man, usually that's something my brother does, man, but I'll try my best.
Do you want me to like cut you in?
Hey.
Ready? Go.
Hey, you know when you're out of breath,
Mm-hmm.
you need some energy, you're tired,
Oh, yeah.
You've been playing the video game, you need to stay up, but those energy drinks just aren't doing it. You're crashing after 5 hours.
Always like that, man.
Oh yeah, we'll say no more, my brother. We have...
What do we have?
Yo, can you hear me? My mic cut out.
I can hear you now. What do we have?
We have Catalyst Mints. Mints that will energize your body, your soul. And will take you
Places you don't want to go.
to places you don't want to go, actually. I've been to those places. But no, it's good stuff. It energizes you. You had me think about those places, Michael. No.
Like, this is already the best Raw review I've ever done on my channel.
Oh, my God.
So just do me a favor. Do me a favor. Can you just give it a name of that product again?
Catalyst Mints, baby.
I'm just playing.
Classic.
But we're here to do a Raw review because we've gone completely sidetracked already. Grizz, as an overall show, how would you summarize Raw? Because obviously you were there with me on BearClub. We were doing the first ever live reactions to Raw. You ducked out towards the end, but obviously it'd been a long day for you. So did you actually catch the end of Raw? Or
Yeah. I seen the whole Braun Strowman and Apollo Crews and Titus Brand and all that good stuff.
Fair enough. Okay. So what did you think as overall for the show?
I would go with a 3 out of 5, maybe. You know, maybe a 2.9, 3 out of 5.
Okay, that's interesting. I think see, I don't know whether I'm being like really generous considering the fact that the last couple of Raws have been good moments but overly poor. I thought this Raw was pretty good compared, but I think I'm judging that based on the last 2, 3, 4 weeks that have been rather poor. So I think I gave it like 3.5, 4 nearly, which is probably a bit too high, and I'm probably going to get slated for that in the comments. And speaking of the comments, I'm just going to get those up on my phone now so that we can start interacting with anybody who is here. So, oh, shut up, Michael. Harry is here. Harry Court, my challenger for Great Balls of Fire, is here. So, hi, Harry. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. Yeah. I think I'm being a bit generous with this Raw. I'll probably go through this bit by bit with you and then realize, yeah, Michael, you were being too nice. But we're going to jump straight in with what I think is undoubtedly probably the best segment outside of the ring. Or not outside of the ring, but not as a match, was the opening of Raw. And one Enzo Amore is worth on the stick. Like, that promo was the best promo he's ever cut, the most impassioned promo he's ever cut. He was so over with the fans, who a lot of people have been saying he's going to flop as soon as he splits with Cass. This split's going to kill Enzo. Nothing good is going to come out of it. Cass is going to look like a star and Enzo's going to be forgotten about. This promo you won't forget this promo for a long time, let alone Enzo Amore himself. Grizz, what's your take on it?
I mean, dude, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed every moment from the moment he stepped out, did his little thing, coming down the ramp, stepped in the ring, dropped the promo. It was all what I expected it to be, because the man commands the crowd with his charisma, and I only hope that he can get better in the ring, so that way he can better utilize those talents, because the man has potential to go places with those mic skills, whether it be a manager or whatever. I would rather see him in the ring. You know, maybe I have like a little sympathy towards him now, but yeah, it was good stuff.
See, I was definitely on the side of people saying that I worry for Enzo. I'm not saying that he was not going to go anywhere, but I was worried for Enzo in the eventuality of a split between these two, and I thought, like, as I say, I thought I was worried that he might get lost in the shuffle. But and I said this during the live show. I said for Vince to give Enzo Amore, a guy that is under 6 foot, very undersized in terms of Vince's stereotype for a good wrestler or a poster child of his company, someone just that doesn't fit the stereotype, and to give him solo the first 12 to 15 minutes, just him and a microphone in the middle of the ring, and then to follow that up with the first backstage segment being Enzo attacking Cass during an interview backstage and having a brawl between the two of them. This is, I think, in my opinion, Vince giving Enzo an opportunity to prove his worth to Vince. And if Vince is seeing this in any way like the fans did, he's seeing dollar signs. And that's how he needs to view Enzo, because Cass may claim that he's where the money is, but, I mean, as he said in his promo, when the merchandise checks come through at the end of the month, Cass is going to see 0 dimes! And unless he's selling T-shirts that say, Cass hole. What do you think about that?
That was line. I wouldn't even say that was line of the year. That was a classic line, though. I enjoyed it. Cass hole. Man.
Cass hole's quality, isn't it? And I mean, I was looking back earlier. I mean, I was talking to you. We was going through sort of Enzo and Cass's best moments and best promos and things like that. And I don't want to give away a few things, but I've learned a few things from Enzo. Let's put it that way. And the other line that Enzo came out with was, he called out Big Cass and he said, "You are nothing more than a 7-foot catchphrase that I wrote." And that really, like, you heard the fans sort of, oh, like that little soundboard app that I just played a second ago. Like, you really believe that. And to be honest, he's got a very, very good point, Enzo. Would Cass be in the WWE? Like, he was already signed before Enzo signed. But would he be on the main roster? Would he have as much coverage? Would he have as much merch sales if he wasn't paired with Enzo Amore? I'm not sure.
Nah, unless he was a guy that WWE just clearly just shoved down people's throats, he wouldn't have been a guy that was noticed. I mean, clearly, because you could tell in NXT first starting off, he was kind of green on the mic. He was kind of green in the ring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for the most part, yeah. I mean, those guys got to the main roster and to the point to where they are because of Enzo Amore and his charisma.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
My question to you is, before we move on from the Enzo Amore segment, because I don't really want to move away from it. I could talk about it for an hour, but there is a lot of rumors saying that this is going to lead to Enzo Amore going back on his words that he was using in his promo, saying that he's smack talker Skywalker and he'll never be seduced by the dark side and everything like this. A lot of people saying that this is going to be a catalyst for somewhere down the line for Enzo to turn heel and realign with Cass and have them be a tag team again, but as exactly what they were, with Enzo being the loudmouth mouthpiece of the group and Cass being the big bad now, vigilante, if you will. But do you see Enzo turning heel? Do you? Because I don't.
I mean, there's a possibility down the line. I mean, Enzo can do anything, and I'll be entertained. Heel, face, but I don't see it right now. So, yeah, not right now.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So before we cut to the first commercial break, we had Sasha Banks and Bayley make their entrance down to the ramp for tag team action against Nia Jax and the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Wasn't anything special. A surprise result, but not a surprise result in the sense that I really didn't expect Sasha Banks to pick up the victory over Alexa Bliss. But then again, it's the go-home show, so the two women that are fighting for the championship need to be involved in the outcome of this match, as it's the go-home show. But it is foreshadowing that Sasha is not going to pick up the victory submission with her bank statement, in my opinion, because the old tradition is that if you go into the pay-per-view looking strong on the go-home show, you lose at the pay-per-view. That kind of sucks.
Don't you hate that predictability, though? Like, we know exactly what's going to happen. Well, not exactly, but we have an idea. So WWE needs to work on that from that aspect, but yeah. I mean, I feel where you're coming from.
Fair enough. The other thing I want to point out about this, what are they doing to this woman? Like, they are destroying her credibility completely, like blowing her completely out of the water. She's scared of a kendo stick. She's never kissed a board. She got wiped out by Nia Jax during an ad break. Like, can you make this woman look any weaker without just throwing her in a dumpster like Braun Strowman did to Kalisto a few weeks back or a few months back? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why are they doing this to Bayley?
Yeah, I don't know if WWE's purposely trying to make us not care for the Bayley character, or they just completely given up. I don't know what direction they're going in with it.
The only thing that I can think of logically regarding the whole Bayley situation is that they are making her look so piss weak that the fans reinvest in her in the sympathy kind of way. Like, when she was down in NXT, everyone was like, oh, she's an underdog. She's the ultimate babyface. We sympathize with her because she comes this close and she never gets the job done. She came up to the main roster, and within 6 months, she was the women's champion walking into WrestleMania as the women's champion. They've screwed themselves over, and the only person it's hurting is Bayley. And for me, that really sucks, because you could have had Bayley not hold the championship for the first 2 or 3 years that she was on the main roster. But when that moment finally comes, it's a repeat of the NXT storyline, which got her over in the first place and made her the most popular act in NXT. And when that moment does happen, it would have been absolutely overwhelming. Everybody would have been so happy. It would have been almost Daniel Bryan-esque of the women's division. But they've gone the complete opposite way and given her everything too much too soon. And now they're having to make her look absolutely dreadful to get to where they should have been when she first debuted on the main roster. Does that make sense?
No, it makes complete sense, bro. I mean, the moment was ruined for me the first time she won the belt, because I wasn't anticipating that moment, and I didn't want that moment to happen right then and there. I thought it was way too soon when they put the belt on her, So I think that moment right there ruined it personally for me, the whole Bayley thing, because I was behind her up until that moment, and I haven't. I don't think she's recovered since. So yeah, and it's crazy how you say they're trying to build this sympathetic character, and this woman is already a one-time champion. She's a champion, so you're gonna make this woman that has already been on top look so bad. Something that, like you said, they should have originally done when she first debuted on the roster. I don't get it.
Here's one for you. So I'll give a quick shout out to everyone that's in the chat at the moment. So we've got Harry, obviously. We've got Rebecca. We've got Pokemon Go. And we've got Alpha. Rebecca said, I really hope that they aren't doing the underdog thing again. It's so freaking boring and history repeating itself. Tell you what, it's the only logical direction that they can go with Bayley, other than send her back down to NXT. and they don't do that. They don't demote people. The last person that they demoted back down to NXT was Tyson Kidd, and last time I heard of Tyson Kidd, he was out of action for 18 months, and they just offered him a producer's contract or something. He's not able to wrestle anymore. They don't admit when they've brought people up too early, and they don't send them back down to develop further. It's the only logical direction is to do the underdog babyface sympathy run with Bayley. It's the only thing that makes sense, in my opinion.
Well, I feel you, and I feel like WWE needs to just man up and learn to accept that they make mistakes, like with that Apollo Crews thing. You know, with major leagues, I guess sports leagues, basketball. You know, if you have a guy that's not ready, you send him down to the development league. You know, and then if he's doing well, you may call him up. But if he's not doing well, you send his butt right on back. You know, and I'm not saying I'm one for, you know, the back and forth thing, but I mean, in this particular situation, they should have sent Apollo Crews back. Maybe I don't know about Bayley, because, you know, I feel like they dug themselves a hole with that one. You know, there was a lot that they could have potentially done with Bayley, but they just I have no clue. Apollo Crews, yeah, he was clearly just called up too early.
Fair enough. Becca said Eva, Marie, Emma, and Zack Ryder were all sent back down to NXT. I completely agree. Eva Marie should have never been called up to the main roster. She wasn't ready. So that is an example of WWE doing what they should have done, sending someone back down. Emma, again, brought up too early. She had a string of injuries, so they brought her back to NXT as a way to get her back into the swing of things and back into the show and back onto programming without thrusting her back onto the main roster. So it wasn't a demotion. It was more easing her back into competition because of the complexity of her injuries. And Zack Ryder was brought down to aid Mojo Rawley's development. That was a specific assignment that I believe Vince McMahon himself spoke to Zack and said, look, you're not doing anything on television at the moment. Why don't you go down and help this kid? And that was between Vince and Zack. So I agree with your points, and I was using Tyson Kidd as an example, but what I'm saying in general is they don't bring people who are up too early genuinely and then bring them back down to develop further. Elias Sampson should not be on the main roster right now. Apollo Crews should not be on the main roster right now. Who else is an example? To an extent, and this is going to be controversial, Carmella shouldn't be on the main roster right now. And she's holding the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. But I still don't think that she's developed enough. They're going to try and use the briefcase to skyrocket that. But I don't feel that she should be on the main roster right now. I think it's too early. I don't think Ty Dillinger should be on the main roster right now. Do you want to know why? Because they're not fucking using him. Oh, wait, you get to see him on live shows. Great. Who gets to see live shows? The people that are there. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Cut me off at any point, Grizz, because I am just ranting now. I've gone completely off track.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're making some valid points, brother. I'm with you all the way. I mean, yeah, but Carmella, yeah, she was most definitely a person that should not have been called up. Right now, I don't feel that way, but when she first got called up, she really had no character, and she wasn't that good in the ring. You know, and over time, I guess the James Ellsworth thing, and then eventually she got the briefcase. So, like, right now, she's pretty decent. But Carmella's a person that probably should not have gotten called up, but they were drafted, and I'm sure they were just trying to fill out the rosters. So
they backed themselves into a corner because they had to bring up, they advertised that they were bringing up 6 NXT rookies to the main roster in the draft. Carmella was the last selection in the draft. Tell me now that wasn't a pick out of desperation because they needed to take someone from NXT because they'd only had 5. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I'm just trying to think. I don't want to keep ranting. And I've just apologized in the chat, and I'll apologize here for ranting. I do apologize, guys. It just really gets to me when wrestling, like I read things, and wrestling fans are quite fickle, and they're 1 minute they're loving a superstar, and the next minute, oh, they're not ready, blah blah blah. I'm always going to be completely 100% honest in my opinions. So until Apollo Crews shows me some character development and some development in his skills, yes, he looks great, and yes, he can go in the ring. Where's his character, and where are his mic skills? Things that I've been saying for months, even before I started YouTube. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to give my straight and honest opinions, whether they get me heat or not. The 6 people that got drafted were told ahead of time. Brian Alvarez confirmed it the other week after the draft. Oh, fair enough. So why did they do those whole stupid reaction videos then? That's stupid. They were all lined up in the performance center, and everyone who knew they were getting called up knew, but they were still crying and shit. That's a bit confusing. Anyway, we're getting completely off topic. We're meant to be reviewing Raw. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, they sort of covered the majority of the show, to be honest. They had a promo segment, and then they had like a video package, and then they had the side-by-side interview. And I know that this was your favorite part of the show, Grizz, or at least it was up until the point that we were talking about it. So do you want to do you want to take over on this part, or?
Oh no, bro. No, you can start it off. I'm a follow up. I got you.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So as I say, we had a promo package, a video package, sorry, a promo, and then the side-by-side, well, I say side-by-side interview. It was obviously side-by-side on the screen. They were at opposite ends of the arena, and Samoa Joe was barking and screaming and growling and just like trying to dig at Paul Heyman, and Brock sat there like laughing at me like, bro, you're not fighting Paul Heyman, you're fighting me on Sunday. Like, come on, like, what are you talking about, blah, blah, blah. And Brock was just basically ripping the piss out of Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe's trying to stay serious to the point where Samoa Joe rips his microphone off, he rips his earpiece out, and he starts storming through backstage, and he finds Brock Lesnar's room where he's in doing the interview. And just before he manages to get there, he's hauled back by security, and Kurt Angle gets involved, and Brock sat there like, come on, bro, champ's right here. What are you doing? Let's go. You man enough? Let's go. And he's been held back by security, and it was just, to me, great. That altercation could have happened, and then nothing happened. Real blue balls. But it makes me want to watch even more on Sunday. So it's a delayed orgasm, if you will, if we're going to continue the blue balls reference. Do you know what I mean? They fed us a little bit, and now we're getting the finale on Sunday.
Doesn't it remind you a little bit of the Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura, I guess, rivalries, when they would give you that lead up and they would pull back? That's what I like. And that's what's showing me that they're treating Samoa Joe as a top guy. You know, the fact that they're not just, I guess, putting him in these altercation situations, because they always do. They're always doing that, you know, with wrestlers. They're always giving us a little bit of what we're supposed to be waiting for the pay-per-view. So when it comes time for the pay-per-view, it's like, I've already seen this already. So I've liked the whole build-up. It's been great. Samoa Joe trying to hold his cool. Brock Lesnar just snarling and laughing, you know, smiling. It was priceless, man. I loved every moment. And if WWE knew right, they would not have this be a one and done. And I still don't believe this will be a one and done. And if it is, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to feel about that.
Fair enough. I like the fact that Samoa Joe was sort of listing off names of people that he's taken out with a coquina clutch. He was like, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I've beat them all. I've put them all to sleep. And Brock sat there pissing himself laughing, just like, you're a punk-ass bitch, I think was the phrase. Alpha makes a really good point. He says he loves the fact that Brock Lesnar was actually allowed to talk for himself, and Paul Heyman took a back seat. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, yeah, that was a question that we were asking prior to, I guess, all this happening. You know, as it continued to build up, will we see Brock Lesnar on the mic against Samoa Joe? Will we see Brock Lesnar not use his advocate and speak for himself? And we finally got that, and I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoy when Paul Heyman does his talking, but in a situation like this, yeah. This is the time for Brock to speak. You know, Brock doesn't just speak to anyone.
Well, it's definitely one of the best, if not the best moments on the show. Just want to say a big shout out to Ben's Cast TV and to Adam for joining the chat as well. I know that was a bit delayed, guys, but better late than never, eh? We're going to move on to a match that I'm really done. I'm done. I'm done with this ish because I'm going to try not to swear. Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar with Alicia Fox. I'm not going to do it because I'm bored of it now. For the last couple of weeks.
Fuchs. I'm sorry.
I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that this is a feud that has been going on for nearly 9 months. If you consider the fact that Cedric Alexander was injured in January and he didn't come back until after WrestleMania, that's all fair game. But technically speaking, if you're going on a time frame, this feud started in last year, the end of last year, and it is still going on now. Like, I'm done with it. I don't want to see it anymore. Can we please just have Cedric Alexander move up the cruiserweight card? And can we have Noam Dar ditch Alicia Fox, please? Like, these two both deserve so much more than to be squabbling over a woman who is, one, I believe nearly in, if not already in her 40s, and Noam Dar is in his early 20s. He's 24, I believe, and Cedric Alexander isn't much older than Noam. So number one, the fuck is Alicia Fox playing the next Vicky Guerrero for? And two, these guys both deserve better. These two are potential candidates to dethrone Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship next year. And they're being treated like this. Like, it's a joke. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Can you please take over, because it's pissing me off.
I mean, the Cedric Alexander guy. Yesterday. I don't really know. I'm still not behind him, you know. And I feel you. I'm so tired of this whole Alicia Fox, Noam Dar, Cedric Alexander conflict, love triangle, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm completely done with it. You know, it's pointless. And it's just like, how far can you possibly take this? Like, you've already done this for 8 months. So, like, what else are you going to do that you haven't really done? I guess.
I think I've just made a big error. And I think if Alicia Fox ever sees this, she's going to kick my fucking head in. Apparently, she's only 31. Oops. My bad. Shit.
Yo, can you hear me? Oh my goodness. Yeah, my bad, man. Yeah, I guess where I left off, I'm just gonna go ahead and shorten it, end it. Yeah, I'm completely done with it. And like you said, Alicia Fox, is she the next Vicky Guerrero?
Noam Dar, I know, is 24. I know that. Alexander's 27. Noam Dar. I'm Googling this now. I'm stopping the broadcast to Google ages of wrestlers.
Hey, man, look. Maybe these fellas like
23.
old.
He's 23. He's 23. He's not even 24 yet.
Wow, he's my age. He's my age. Ooh, 31. Okay. All right. I see you, Noam.
8 years gap. I mean, I guess that's not much of an issue. I genuinely did feel like she's been around for fucking years. I didn't realize that she's not even that old. 20s when she was the women's champion.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell!
Did it all with Alicia Fox, baby.
All right. Anyway, before I get fucking ripped to shreds with a high-pitched voice on fucking Twitter or something, we're gonna move swiftly on. But yeah, I'm done with Cedric Alexander, Noam Dar. Please just Please end it now.
Couldn't you just have a CD of Alicia Fox just screaming? Just listen to it as you go to sleep, as you close your eyes.
I would rather stick pins in my eyeballs and an umbrella up my Jap's eye.
Oh man, it's not that bad. I think it's kind of hot.
You're weird. Miz TV.
Yeah. Look, brother. This Miz TV stuff on Raw. It's like they continue to derail what SmackDown did for the Miz, man. I mean, the Miz was a guy when he said he was must-see TV. For me personally, that guy was must-see TV on SmackDown. I mean, when he had his whole SmackDown championship reign going on, and regardless of what he was doing, he was entertaining. But now that he yeah. But yeah, to my point, I'm getting off track. But now that he's on Raw, you know, they have him back doing basically the same thing that he was doing prior to, I guess, the brand split. Just a bunch of Miz TV segments. But we did get into a match where the Miz was wrestling in his dress pants, and I was highly entertained.
I'm not gonna lie, I was taking Nature's Call during the beginning of this match, and I came back in and I said, "What have I missed?" And you guys went, "Mrs. pants have ripped," and I was like, "Oh, it's probably just a little rip down the side or something." Like, nope, that much. His entire ass was showing, and I was like, "Well,"
like he did a full-blown split, brother. I mean, those things were ripped.
I'm being told off by Adam for losing my shit because of an age gap. Thanks, Adam. We all are. Shows how weak the 205 Live roster is. The 205 Live roster isn't weak. The story booking is weak. WWE are always like, we've got a creative team. We've got a creative team. Where's the creativity in your creative team? All you have is a bunch of fucking people. You don't even have, like, this is the thing. The key word, the first word in that duo is creative, but there is no creativity. You may as well have a bunch of fucking orangutans in there writing your shit, because they will bring up better storylines than this creative team that they've got going on. And I know I'm ranting again, and I know we're going back to the 205 Live thing, but it really frustrates me. And I feel like I have to get this out there, because it shows passion as to whether it's negative or positive. It shows passion, and it shows you guys that I'm genuinely invested in these guys to the point where it upsets me when things aren't going the right way. And I'm sure that you guys are all feeling the same way about different segments, or this segment in particular. But the Cruiserweights deserve so much more. And as I said many a times, the Cruiserweight Classic was my favorite piece of WWE programming from the entire of last year. It beat WrestleMania, it beat the Royal Rumble, it beat SummerSlam, it beat Survivor Series. The Cruiserweight Classic as a general concept was the best thing WWE have produced last year easily, and probably within the last 3 years, minimum. Like, one of the best things, and it's just such a shame to see how far it went up and how far it's fallen in less than a year, because it only started around this time last year, or not even a year old. That's how crazy it is. But I'm sorry for ranting.
No, it's good. It's good, man. And I would have to disagree with whomever made that statement in the chat. You got to look at it for what it is, man. It's the same disease that's been running through the WWE, and the same disease that's been bringing all of your favorite wrestlers down. You know, it's Vince McMahon. He's out of touch, completely out of touch with everything. You know, at the time when I guess WCW was challenging them in the ratings war, you know, Vince had no choice but to step it up. He had no choice but to switch his game up and turn the switch up and to think outside the box. And it seems like week after week, all the shows seem the same, pay-per-views seem the same. It's like I'm watching the product simply because I love wrestling. When I was in a down point in my life, wrestling is what was my best friend, what kept me up, what kept me going. And to see it at the state to where it is, it does bother me a lot, because the cruiserweight 205 Live should be way better. It should honestly, in my opinion, be one of the best things, top 3 things on WWE TV right now. Obviously, you know, because they have the guys, they have the talent. And like you said, it seems like they just have a bunch of monkeys working in a creative room writing these shows, man. It's sickening. It's sickening. Just like with Roman Reigns, it's not like I want to hate Roman Reigns. I genuinely do not want. I don't want to hate Roman Reigns. There's not one wrestler I want to go out there and fail. I want all those wrestlers to succeed, but I want them to be entertaining at the same time. And it seems as though the WWE just shackles these guys. Either that, or they're just not. Their creative team isn't just. It's just not as creative, or something, man. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna have to do a weekly rant video where I just come on and shout about everything that pisses me off. That'll get views, won't it?
Hey.
Just Michael's rant of the week.
Yeah, you're damn right.
We can do it on BearClub. Fuck it, we'll do it. Anyway, so Miz ripped his draws in Intercontinental Championship match against Heath Slater, who had been involved in the promo with Miz TV, and Ambrose came out, and Heath and Rhino came out, and there was an altercation, and Kurt Angle booked the Intercontinental Championship match for Sunday with Dean Ambrose facing The Miz, but he was going to defend the championship against Heath Slater on Raw, and Heath Slater looked good. Miz picked up the victory. There was shenanigans with the Miz Taraj and Heath with Rhino and the Hardy Boys. Not the Hardy Boys. What am I talking about? Fucking Hardy Boys. That's later on in the show. Dean Ambrose. Everyone was involved. It was a clusterfuck, really. But Miz walks away with his championship and looks into his championship match because he can't win a match by himself. Same old Miz.
He looks weak, but Bo Dallas looks damn cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, from the whole beard and the hair thing that he has going on, the dude looks like a genuine Wyatt family member. But yeah.
Can you imagine Bray and Bo Wyatt as a tag team? The Rotundo Boys. They sound like a fat version of the Mario Brothers.
I would love to see them. Yeah. As a tag team stable, maybe them not even going after tag team belts, but just individual belts and helping each other. Just them taking. I don't know. Right. Yeah, I don't know. It would be nice. Those two taking over the WWE.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get onto Bray in a little while because he had a pretty nice segment, nice promo. But Goldust and his Shattered Truth. So after all the weeks of backstage promos and the movie quotes and the is back. We finally had him in the ring. He presented the Shattered Truth, which was basically just a highlights package of his attack on R-Truth before their match last week. And as we come back from the Tron and the screen being on large, R-Truth is stood behind Goldust, who's in his director's chair, munching popcorn, and he ensues an attack, and the two brawl. How much more are we going to pussyfoot around this match? Like, can we just get to the match? Can we just get to the match? That's my point. Like, we've had enough promos backstage. We've had enough parodies with R-Truth and his backstage promos. We've had enough not getting to the match and just brawling. Can we just have the match now? Am I just in a bad mood now because of the cruiserweight thing?
Probably so. I mean, but no, you're probably in a bad mood because the whole setup of the show. I mean, now that you break it down, don't you see? WWE, they always fool you. They always fool you. You know, in the moment, things seem great simply because of the weeks prior, man. And that's how they always get you. They always have piss poor shows, and then they give you a decent one to the point to where you're like, oh, this is actually a good show.
Yeah, I think my 4-star rating is probably going to come down by the end of this fucking video. Yeah, I think it's already at a 3.5, and that's being nice. But yeah, I think we just need to see this match already. Some sort of like stipulation, because they're both getting on now. and both of them could probably retire at some point in the next 12 months. So maybe doing like not like a loser leaves town, but like maybe like banished to the other brand. The loser like is moved to the other brand or something of the sort. Like there needs to be. This can't just be a singles match. This has to be a gimmick match where something is implicated from one or the other. Like, have you got any suggestions? Like, the only thing I can think of is like a loser leaves town or something of that sort of description.
No, I agree. Loser gets the H up off the SmackDown brand, but whomever is in that, whomever wins that match, I'd actually want to be the loser.
Yeah.
So that way you can send my ass right on to SmackDown and I can actually get booked correctly or have a chance to be.
If I was R-Truth, I'd just lie down in the middle of the ring. Go on, pin me. I'll go to SmackDown.
Oh yeah. And then we'll get some good R-Truth on SmackDown.
I'm a good R-Truth.
Or even some good Gold Dust. I don't care.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, Kingslayer, architect, asshole. I mean, no longer an asshole. Against the Star Factory's co-founder and CEO of the Star Factory and whatever else bloody nickname he goes by. Kurt Hawkins ended in 10 seconds with Rollins' high knee, which almost made me throw up. It was that vicious. And Seth got on the mic, and again, he cut a very strong babyface promo that everyone hated, but I seem to like. And I don't understand why people hate Seth Rollins on the mic as a promo, as a face with a promo. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think he's got the right amount of passion. He's got the right amount of credibility to get himself over as a face. Seth Rollins on the microphone as a face.
I don't think it's a hate thing, brother. And I think I can speak for the people that you're talking about, because with me, Seth Rollins, I wouldn't say he's dull or anything like that, but you know how sometimes they put guys in pointless rivalries, so it's just like, why should I care? That's what it is with Seth Rollins at this point. They kind of put him against Samoa Joe, and it was just like, why do I care? He could be as passionate as he wants to be, but I don't care. What's the point of this? Bray Wyatt right now, what is the point of this? It's pointless. Seth Rollins, when he actually has something to fight for, oh yeah, I'm behind that 100%. You're damn right. Mm-hmm. I can actually get, yeah, I believe you. But no, when it's just randomness and the guy's better than that, it's not even a hate thing towards him. It's more of a hate in the direction that the WWE has this guy going. So, and that's how I feel. As a heel, I don't know. There was actually something there, but as a face, I don't know. I just don't see it. There was some motive. He wanted to be on top, so he turned on his brothers. He did what he had to do. He got on top. It was a good story as he was building up as a heel. But the guy just randomly turned face. And there was really no explanation, it just happened. And then we were just told to accept it because it's Seth Rollins. We love Seth Rollins. But then ever since he's been face, it's like, it's been nothing. The thing between Triple H, that was kind of like derailed simply because, of the injury that he had. So that kind of killed that momentum. But it's like ever since he's been a face, what has he been fighting for, truthfully? What is there for you to get behind Seth Rollins for? That is my question. Like, I feel where you're coming from. He is awesome on the mic. But I just can't get behind it. Just like with Bray Wyatt promos. I can't get behind him anymore. Like, at the time... Go on. No, I'm sorry. I'm about to end this. But like, you just like right now, Bray Wyatt's in the rivalry. He's doing all this talking just like he normally does. Why should I care? Because you got him going against Seth Rollins. He's going to lose. What's the point of this?
Well, I was going to kind of link this in and sort of bypass one segment and then come back to it because I wanted to talk about the Bray Wyatt segment when he was in the desert. Does it make me a mark that I still believe in Bray Wyatt? Like, I still listen to his promos and I still feel engaged by him and I still connect with what he's saying in a roundabout way and I'm still engaged with what he's saying.
And I know, no, and it's not. You're not a mark, because I feel the same way. I honestly do. But it's getting to a point to where it's like, why are you doing this to this guy? Like, I'm not like. It's not like I'm not trying to care about Bray Wyatt, because he's genuinely one of the best guys on the mark. I mean, on the mic, he's a awesome entertainer. He showed what he could do when he was on top, I guess. And it's just like they keep putting him in these same situations, and it's just like, come on now. It's been about 4 or 5 years now. Can you do better for this guy?
Hold on, I'm just replying to a message in the chat. There's a little bit of confusion. So Adam, who is obviously in the UK, has messaged saying, Michael, why have you got the month and the day switched on the title of the video? The reason I've done that is because not 87% of my viewership comes from stateside and Canada and everything like that. And I know that you guys do it month, day, year, whereas in the UK, if presenting the date is date, month, year. So I'm just replying to that. Bray continues to dish out great promos, but they don't mean anything since they have him losing all the time. Ben, I agree. And I think that's exactly what Grizz is saying. He can talk the talk, but at the moment he's being booked to fall as he begins his walk, if that makes sense. If I can try and link that together, I completely agree. But I just want Bray to succeed. I really do. And do you know what? I would love it if he beat Seth Rollins clean on Sunday. I know it's not going to happen. Like, I'm not giving away my predictions. My predictions are all set. But I just want Bray to succeed. I just feel so bad for the guy because he's so talented and so charismatic. Neville versus Mustafa Ali. We were having this conversation yesterday. Mustafa Ali is the most improved member of the Cruiserweight Classic and the Cruiserweight division. For someone that wasn't even meant to be in the tournament, he was a reserve because a Brazilian guy couldn't get a work permit, so he was brought in last minute. To see how far he's come from there is absolutely incredible. And yes, this wasn't anywhere near as good as their absolute barnstorm a few months back, where Mustafa came this close to winning the championship. But this match was still very, very good in my opinion. Neville did pick up the victory with the Rings of Saturn submission. He looked strong heading into his match on Sunday with Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship, which is on the kickoff show, which I'm pissed off about, but I'm not going to rant about. I promise. What was your opinion on this match, Grizz?
You know, I'm a fan of Mustafa now. It took me a while to get behind the guy, but it was okay.
Is that it?
Oh yeah, that's it.
In-depth analysis with Grizz.
What?
I'm kidding. Ben's just brought up a point. He says Grand Metalik should be facing Neville. The guy is a stud, but he has been having visa issues. So this is the thing. And I said it when I went on Hibiki's Cruise Control show. We were talking about the Cruiserweight division in general, and the fact that they've got Grand Metalik, who was the runner-up in the final of the Cruiserweight Classic, against TJ Perkins. Lince Dorado, who is another absolutely outstanding worker and high flyer. And they've got them tagging on main event because they can't get them on the 205 live show. And it's a real shame to see. But I didn't know there were visa issues, so that may explain some of it. But the Cruiserweight Classic has been featured on Raw 5 times since the Cruiserweights debuted in, what was it, October? After the Cruiserweight Classic finished. That's poor showing. But I didn't realise it was visa issues. So fair enough. Okay. So we're going to move on. We have one more match to cover, and it was match of the night. Finn Balor versus Cesaro. Picking up the victory following a lot of interference from the Hardy Boys, from Elias Sampson, from Sheamus. Very, very good match. I confirmed that there's going to be a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Tag Team Championships at Great Balls of Fire this Sunday between Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardy Boys. My question to you is, Grizz, regardless as to the match that we had on Raw, because it was fantastic and there's no taking away from that, I want to focus on Sunday and the... Would that make more sense to be a tornado tag match?
Yeah, but this is WWE booking it, so that's how that goes.
Like, for me, it kind of takes away from the concept of the Iron Man match. Because obviously, if you're in a standard tag match, get broken up by your opponent. Because it always happens. Every time the Hardy Boys go for a pin, Sheamus and Cesaro will just go and... Sheamus or Cesaro will go and break up the pin. Meaning it's pointless. If you've got a tornado tag, the other two members that would have been on the side of the ring apron may well be distracted, meaning that we're not going to get 30 minutes and only one pinfall. We could get 30 minutes and we could have 4 or 5 pinfalls. Do you know what I mean? Because we've already had the 2 out of 3 falls match. So we either need to see, and I really hope they don't do this, if they do a 30-minute Iron Man match that ends in a fucking draw, ripping off New Japan, that will piss me the fuck off. But this needs to have a definitive end, and whoever walks out of this needs to walk away into a new feud for the tag team championships. Am I have anything you want to add to that?
No, it's time for them to move the fuck on. Bigger and better things.
Fair enough. Okay, well, the last thing we need to talk about is Roman Reigns murdering Braun Strowman. Take over, because I don't want to talk about it.
Nah. No.
Neither of us want to talk about Roman doing something cool, because then that means that we might be marks and marking out for something that Roman does cool, even though we cuss about him all the time. No, I mean, we had Braun Strowman. He demanded competition from Kurt Angle earlier on in the night. Titus O'Neil came down and sort of introduced Apollo Crews, and I thought Apollo Crews was going to get murdered, and he did. He got some offense in, don't get me wrong, but Apollo Crews got murdered on live television. He went for a standing moonsault, and Braun Strowman kicked him across the ring in midair. I'm lucky I wasn't drinking something whilst I was watching that, because I would have literally sprayed everything over the wall. It was fucking hilarious. He went for the backflip, and as he went for the backflip, which he was never going to make because he didn't get the rotation right in the first place, and Braun just sort of, he's flipping, and he just went, nope, fuck off, and Apollo went flying. It was absolutely fantastic. So Strowman picked up the victory. He went for a running power slam, could have picked up the victory, held him up to break the count, hit him with another one, did the same thing, and then the third power slam, sending a message to Roman. He pinned Apollo. Titus came up onto the ring apron. There was an altercation between the two of them. He hit Titus with a power move as well. I think it was another power slam. And then Apollo cruised through the arena and into the back of the ambulance, hit the ambulance. It was like, right, fucking take him away. And the ambulance didn't move. So he hit the back of the ambulance again. And the ambulance didn't move. So he hit the back of the ambulance again, down the side, and he's sort of peeping in the window. Door comes flying open, and out comes big dog Roman Reigns. And there's a brawl and an altercation, and it leads to Strowman sort of getting an upper hand, and then Roman kind of getting an upper hand, and then Roman got the upper hand again, and it ended up with a spear off the stage, in which Braun Strowman actually had a massive cut down here and across the back of his arm, where obviously he'd landed awkwardly with a table splitting. So it's going to be interesting to see how that heals up, because I think that's on the same arm that he had surgery on. So we'll have to look out for that. There's been no news so far. But, I mean, a great spot. Roman looks strong going into his match with Braun in the ambulance match on Sunday. Braun looks like a warrior, I guess, because he was up almost immediately following that. But as an overall concept, like, we've seen Roman go in the back of the ambulance. We haven't seen Braun go in the back of the ambulance. Roman's winning on Sunday, isn't he?
I hope not.
It's going to be an interesting watch. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I said that this show was going to be about an hour. I think, obviously, with it being the 4th of July, plans to get off and celebrate and fireworks and cake and everything like that. So I want to say to you guys that have joined me, I really do appreciate it. Grizz, I appreciate you joining me as well for this Raw review. Again, thanks to everyone that watched live, to anyone that watches this back when it goes onto YouTube. Really do appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back 5 minutes before the start of SmackDown Live on BearClub 316's channel for a live reactions to SmackDown Live, and then a live reactions to 205 Live as well. So we hope to see you guys there. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Check everyone's links in the description down below, including Catalyst Mints, our sponsors. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Hopefully we'll see you later for SmackDown Live. Too sweet, guys. Peace.